Hell Kite presents An Hour in Hell, Episode 10 with Graham Steele.
We're leaving?
Welcome to episode 10 of the Hell Kite Podcast, where I, Jackson Rao, explore new music and get to know fellow artists. With me today is... Introduce yourself.
Graham Steele.
And how do you spell that last name?
Steele.
It's got the E on the end. Welcome, Graham. Longtime friend of mine. So we were in a band together a while ago.
Yeah.
We were in Sad Park. Sad Park lives on to this day. That's your main band, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Still your main band. But you're also in Big Bad Giant. What?
Yeah,
Oh, you just gave... you guys don't have a visual representation, but he just gave like a... I don't know, like he did like a shrug.
Two-hand wobble.
Yeah, two-hand wobble. Why you say that?
No, I still do Big Bad Giant. It's just a lot of like home recordings now, and it's like I just have like an album's worth of music that I'm just like holding on to.
It's interesting,
waiting.
an album's worth. So you're gonna make an album.
Yeah.
That's how it usually works, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for like the right moment of whatever to just be like, all right, fuck it, just
You're
let this
waiting
shit
for
go.
a fuck it moment?
Yeah, kinda. Just
Why not just do it though?
uh,
Is it all stuff that you're like, yes, this is all good? Or is it all like, these are all rough drafts and I want to add some more stuff, you know?
some of that, a lot of it is like I'm like it's all completely done. I'm just like it's all really personal stuff. Like I don't know if you ever heard like the anything, but like it's all just really personal ass shit of like experiences or something that I've gone through that I'm just like, do I really want fucking everybody to know about this kind of stuff? Like,
wow, that's actually something I haven't thought about.
it's heavy.
Well, because I guess I have never sung about something. Well, to preface, nothing dramatic has ever happened in my life. My life is so fucking easy, and I don't really give a shit about anything.
No,
But
I feel that.
if something happened where I was like, "This, I'm really broken up about this," would I be ready to fucking put that on display? Because that's what you have to do. When you write something, you're putting it on display.
That's what your boy's going through.
I mean, people have asked me before, and I'm sure they've asked you the same thing. Like, non-musicians will say, how do you like, you're so brave. How do you like write all this stuff? It's so personal. And like, you just let people listen to it.
Yeah.
And my answer is always like, well, I don't really care because it's so vague that you can't directly connect things to my life.
Right.
But what you're saying is some of this stuff can be easily connected to you and, you know, it's just going to be out there.
Yeah. Like
People might judge it or whatever.
like the Sad Park stuff is like it's personal stuff, but it's also just like something that like anyone can connect and anyone can be like, I've been through whatever, like a breakup or whatever.
Yeah.
But like Big Bad Giant is straight up me like calling myself out and being like, this fucking happened to me. This happened to me. Like you might not even be able to fucking relate whatsoever.
And
but like
that line of walking that line of relatable, but and then unrelatable. You know what I mean? Like there's a trade-off there because it's like, oh, you can write about a breakup. It's like, oh, everyone gets it. Yeah. And people can sing and they're like, yeah, like I get it. I'm on the in group. And it's like, actually a great example is, have you heard the Microphones before? The band?
No.
Okay, it's a great band. They made an album. It was just the one guy. And it's called A Crow Looked at Me. I think I talked about this on a different episode. But it's about his wife becoming terminally ill and dying. And he has a child with her. And the album, start to finish, is soft acoustic songs of hyper-specific, like, oh, I cleaned out your old bed sheets.
Yeah.
I took off the paintings that you used to love. I cleaned your room. And it's just like, you can't relate to this specific experience. No one fucking can.
Yeah.
But it's so real.
Yeah.
That as a human being, you're just like, I'm going to cry to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
I respect that when people can do that.
Yeah.
But it's probably different because he is talking about maybe a loved one dying. I'm sure it's hard to talk about, but it's not something that necessarily someone would judge him for.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? So you play guitar and you sing in Sad Park.
Yes.
Right? Have you guys been playing shows? How's it been going? Writing, recording, what's the situation? You have an album, right?
Yeah, so we released Sleep in February, which is just a 8-track album. 8? Yeah, it's 8. It's 8-track.
Sure?
I don't know. But
8-track confirmed.
Sure, 8-track. It's an 8-track album, and then it came out and we just played it a bunch and like just started fucking, just playing a bunch of shows and like trying to promote it and just playing all the songs from it.
Yeah.
And then we kind of took a little bit of a break already.
Really?
Yeah, because we've like, we like started writing Sleep when like,
oh yeah, when
you
I
were
was
with
there,
us.
yeah.
And so like, it's just been like a fucking like year-long span of just like,
well, even like longer almost.
Yeah, no, it was a fucking long time. And then, so like, a lot of it of like taking the break already is just like we've had these songs for like ever.
By taking a break, you mean to write more? Yeah,
we haven't played a show in a while. We're playing on the 20th. I guess it doesn't matter because
Where's that?
It's at my house.
Oh,
but either way, then
what do you mean it doesn't matter?
Well, I don't know when this is gonna be out, and then someone's gonna hear it and be
Tuesday.
Like the 20th.
Tuesday.
And then people, but what if this comes? Someone 2 months from now is gonna hear the 20th.
Oh,
the
yeah,
20th,
the 20th
of that
20th
month.
Of this year, 2034.
And then people are just gonna show up to my house. But either way, yeah. Now we're just like, all right, let's just fucking start writing again. And just recording. And
yeah,
it's cool. It's gonna be fun. I'm excited for it.
I mean, I don't know about you, but writing is the most fun thing.
Oh yeah.
Is that the same for you?
Oh yeah, writing's like fucking. It's the best.
Playing live is cool too, but
yeah, but it's just like writing's the best because that's the moment when you can like, at least for me, that's like I feel like it might be the opposite for others, but writing is like the fucking around part for me.
Oh yeah.
Like other people are like, all right, we got to be serious and write this song and then fuck around when we play live. But for me, it's like, fuck around. Let's just fucking add like noises and shit in the background and do whatever. And then while we're playing, I'm like, of course I'm having fun, but I'm like, we got to present this. Like, we got to be good. We got to make sure that like,
this has to be tight.
Solid.
Yeah. It can't just be like, oh, we got fucking high and constructed the song and we come out, we're like, we're Sad Park! It's just like,
I just run out, I fall off the stage immediately.
Yeah, you throw up, pass out, and that's the set. Like, how did we do? You're like, you passed down 2 minutes.
Well, we're an abstract band, so there you go.
Yeah.
They'll be like, wow, that was fucking beautiful.
But so the recording is I mean, I think a lot of the writing becomes, okay, let's add all this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I know we used to do this. Add all this shit, and then, holy fuck, the song is like either really long or like really short.
Yeah.
One of those two. It never ends up exactly.
We're never just like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
We can
no. Great. Got it. Like, done. Okay, we'll play the show fucking tomorrow.
Yeah.
But it always ends up you have to cut parts out or like be like, okay, I don't know what the fuck I was thinking with that. I mean, what was the recording process like compared to the writing?
For Sleep?
For Sleep, yeah.
So the recording was super fucking easy. It was really nice.
Well, because you probably had the songs down so like.
Yeah, I mean,
playing these for 2 fucking years.
Yeah. We've been sitting on these songs for like 2 years or so, and so like recording, it was just like busting that shit out. Sam was recording us, Sam from the Ladyfingers.
Yeah.
And he just would like, we went over to Grant's house in the beginning, and he has a really cool way of recording, because
Sam does.
Yeah. His whole way is like, we went over to Thousand Oaks to record the drum parts for Grant, and he's just like, I'm like, why the fuck are we going to be in Thousand Oaks to record one drum part? And Grant's just like, no, we're recording all the drum parts.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Because the way I've always done is you record like song by song by song.
Yeah.
So at least until we get like the basics of each song down, then you can move on to the next song. But when we were recording it, Grant would just like be fucking doing every single song on the album, like doing 4 takes of each one, and it would just take all fucking day. It was
Yeah.
It was cool.
And
was very
playing to
relaxing.
like what? Like some sort of scratch guitar track that you guys had, or
Actually, every single drum track is just recorded by Grant, just memory.
no?
Yeah, it's
really.
it was all everything that's on Sleep is Grant literally just listening to a metronome, and just
That is highly unusual.
just trying to just being like, okay, I know like at this part of my drum part,
you
do
guys
this.
could have recorded like, hey, let's have you play with Grant.
Yeah, we could have.
But Grant was like, no, I got it. Don't worry.
yeah.
Can I get 145? That's fucking insane.
Yeah, that was fucking
Dude, and
cool.
he's like, well, let's see. When did you start recording after he replaced me? Well, because I want to know how long he had to fucking memorize shit. Probably a couple months, right?
Yeah, it was a couple months because we at first were like, okay, well, we're a band that plays live. We kind of need to we got to make sure that he can even play the old songs too, on top of teaching him the new songs, on top of seeing...
I mean, he's a great drummer.
On top of seeing if we can write new songs with him, on top of... It was fucking...
Yeah.
But he did it.
He did it. He did it. Yeah, I'm proud of him.
I'm not.
Can I be proud of him? I'm proud of you.
You can be proud. I'm not.
You're not?
Grant, when you're listening to this, I'm not proud.
If you listen to this. He's a very busy guy.
Jackson's proud of you. I'm not.
I'll tell him after.
I'm rough on him.
So let's talk about the albums we got. We got 2 albums. One I'm very excited for.
The other?
The other, I don't know. Let's talk about Death Grips.
Okay.
Death Grips' new album is Year of the Snitch.
Yeah.
And that came out, I don't know. When did it come out?
Pretty recently.
This year for sure, but...
No, I know it was...
Month or 2?
Yeah, because I remember fucking... I don't know if you know... Yeah, you know Ricky.
Yeah.
Ricky's a fucking huge Death Grips fan. He has like a Death Grips
Sorry,
tattoo.
Ricky.
Yeah, sorry, Ricky. You're not going to like this. And so, like, I always, like, whenever I'm in Ricky's car, he plays Death Grips and stuff, and he was like, hey, the new album fucking came out, so, like... I already had heard this album because Ricky plays it in his car.
Yeah.
Fucking constantly.
Okay. Give me, in 2 sentences, what do you think about this album? Just kind of summary.
I don't even know if I want to do 2 sentences.
You want to do more or less?
No, less. It's
do
man,
fucking 2 words. I don't care.
It's just 2 words. I can't do 2 words. But in 4 words, it's just Death Grips.
Just Death Grips.
No.
That's 3.
No, it's just Death Grips.
Oh, it's just Death Grips. That's 5. Wait, it's just Death Grips.
It's just Death Grips.
4.
Wow, we really need to count that.
Yeah. Well, so that's negative then, obviously.
I mean, like, I can appreciate Death Grips. I can appreciate their, like, how they are artistically. One thing that I thought was fucking really cool was oh no, I don't even know his name, and I'm not even gonna try. The lead guy of Death Grips.
Yeah, the guy that yells.
Yeah, I'm
familiar with him.
There was an interview with him, and he has such a nice, like, soft voice. He's actually such, like, a sweet sounding man.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But they're just like, yeah, so, like, what are your inspirations?
I fucking hate this.
From music. Oh, you know this?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just like, what are your inspirations from music? And he's just like, I don't have any. He's like, I am my inspiration. I'm just like, hey, that's kind of hard as fuck.
No,
like,
that's awesome,
sick.
but I think that's, like, stupid at the same time. What the fuck are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, I guess if you're looking at it like that, it's like you can't compare it to different things. You can't be like, okay, fucking this band's super inspired by the fucking Beatles because
everyone
like
compares them to the Beatles. Like,
exactly.
Beatles are better.
Yeah.
No, that's actually smart what he said because yeah, exactly. You can't make a direct comparison. And it does sound like he's in his own fucking world.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, what sounds like that right now is, I think, the best thing I can say about it is that it's ahead of its time.
Yeah.
But in the sense that it sounds like shit to me right now, but I don't know how it'll be perceived in 20 years.
Oh fuck. Yeah, no, I totally get that. That's like it definitely could be like a good majority of people are like, this fucking sucks, but that's because it's so like,
do people like it cuz it's so crazy that it's like cool to like?
Or
is it actually have like Well, I'll have to ask Ricky to like what is redeeming about the Death Grips to him.
It's kind of it's just looked at the same way as like any music. Like some people just fucking love it because of the instrumental. Some people are just like, what he's fucking singing about is crazy. Or other people just like simply because of the noise are just like, this fucking hits me and this is heavy. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like hardcore. It sounds more hardcore to me this time around because I can actually hear the drummer. Zach Hill, right? Is that the drummer?
Yeah, he's
really
insane.
crazy. And the other compliment I would give is that any song with the fucking drums in it becomes automatically cooler. And it becomes actually like rhythmically fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Whereas the stuff that just sounds like ambient yelling and noise, it's too far out for me. That's just me.
Definitely.
I guess I shouldn't say like, oh, it's just objectively shit. I'll just say that subjectively, to me, it's just too fucking crazy.
Is the drumming thing like? Is that because it's like, okay, I have something to like hold on to and keep me like grounded towards this? You're like, I have a beat that I can at least like fathom.
But even that, every time it comes in, it's like blast beats. It's like it's just like
it's just
crazy shit. I'm going to look through the track list because I think there's at least one song where I was like, okay, I actually do really like this. And it's probably going to be the only song that has like any semblance of a hook. Because most of it doesn't. I think it's wait, why does it say I've seen footages on here? That's not on here.
I'm not even.
I've seen footage. I think it's the horn section has like really crazy drums on it. And black paint. They actually say black paint a couple times, and I was like, okay, that's kind of like a hook.
I like
that. I'm into that.
Yeah.
So the next segment we do is called Buy It, Try It, Pass. So Buy It is the highest honor, Try It in the middle, Pass, it's shit. I would say, oh God, this is a pass.
Yeah?
For me, this is a pass. I think that doesn't mean Death Grips as a whole is a pass.
Yeah.
It just means this album is. I think they've done better stuff earlier on, like, what is it, The Money Store?
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, a lot of people fucking just...
That's all you need, though.
Yeah.
See, I don't think they've really gone the next step quite yet. So It's a pass for me.
What is it? Buy It, Try It, Pass?
Yeah.
I'd say try it only just because, like, I think now, just everything that I'm inspired by and just whatever phase I'm in right now, like, it's not exactly doing something for me, but there are things that I could see maybe later in my life that I could fucking love.
Yeah.
So, try it.
Let's try it from him. I think also, like, the coolest part about it is that it's crazy.
Yeah.
And that has its own merit sometimes. Like, you can just make something that is fucking, it's not musical, but it's really insane and innovative.
Yeah.
That's their biggest allure in my mind.
Yeah, of course.
The only reason they get critical acclaim is because they're doing something that no one else is really doing.
Right.
But that only takes you so far. You can only do that so many times until people are like, okay, well, we get it.
You're like,
you've done this.
Yeah.
And it's not musical anymore. And it's, so on that merit alone, it's cool because it's like, hey, you can just do something that's really fucking out there and people will like it.
Yeah.
It's not like no one likes Death Grips.
No.
People do. They're pretty big.
No one likes Death Grips.
No one likes Death Grips. They suck. Okay, let's move on to our next album. I don't like to spend too much time on the albums because if you're not listening to this, then you don't know what the fuck we're saying. So, what is the next one called again?
Post?
Yeah. Jeff Rosenstock.
Fucking love
Is it The Post?
No, it's just Post.
I wrote The Post. So it's The Post.
The Post by the Jeff Rosenstock?
The Jeff Rosenstocks. So is this after his Bomb the Music Industry?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that's disbanded or that's not.
Yeah, they broke up a fucking while ago.
So that was his old band. And Grant, which I had on episode 6, I don't remember.
I do.
He also plays drums. Was it 6?
No, I don't fucking know.
You don't know? He plays drums in Sad Park and Ladyfingers. He loves Jeff Rosenstock.
Oh my god.
Favorite.
Oh my.
Favorite forever.
God.
And So in his honor, we'll talk about Post. So my brief summary is super, super tight, melodic, fun, alternative music.
Yeah.
But, and then my second sentence is also 11-minute song. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah.
So that's where it differentiates from the alternative rock.
Yeah.
You know.
I fucking love this album.
Why?
It's like I said before we started recording. It's not like my favorite by him.
Yeah.
Because he has 2 other albums, Worry and We Cool, and those are just fucking kick ass. I love those.
Alex from Bandits was telling me he loves We Cool.
Yeah, it's
He's like,
great.
I'm like, which album are you talking about? He's like, the one with the house on it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh, this one.
Great. I fucking love it. Post is great. It's just like this. He's super like heavy, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like
all these songs are just like heavy, just kind of hit you in the fucking face, and just super tight.
Well, I love the recording and the mixing is fucking great. And
yeah.
It just sounds so big, and like his sound inherently, it's not like hardcore, but it just has this quality of like sound hitting you, you know, which is always great. It reminds me of kind of like the 90s Nirvana recordings of just like when the fucking chorus hits, it's big. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The songs that I really liked.
Don't fuck this up.
I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember the fucking names of the songs.
No, just say the right names, dude.
They're all so. But also, like when I said melodic, I meant the melody, like the voice melodies.
Oh yeah,
are really really strong.
One thing that when there was one time when me and Angel were driving and listening to him. Angel plays guitar with us, and he was just listening, and he's like, dude, Jeff is just a fucking wizard when it comes to catchy melodies. I was like, what the fuck do you mean?
Yeah.
And I realized Jeff does this thing where he'll sing a chorus, and you'll hear it, and you'll be like, okay, that was cool.
Yeah.
But then, like, you find yourself later just fucking singing it, and you're like, what? That's a Jeff song.
You didn't even realize how
he has
catchy
like
it was.
Yeah, he has like this sneaky catchy thing that you didn't even think was catchy until you're fucking singing it later.
Yeah, and then you know it's fucking catchy. Because you can't stop. I loved USA. So that's the second track in the album. That's 7.5 minutes or some shit.
Yeah.
It's really cool, dude.
Yeah.
My first thought, because I knew kind of what he was about. I've heard like a song or two.
Right.
And my first thought, seeing the track, that's okay.
Okay.
You're just pointing at the monitor. Don't worry
I
about
don't know
everything's
if it would stop
fine.
Recording or Worry by Jeff.
Just gonna punch that in right there. But the thing I was thinking about was like, how do you make fucking pop, or like alternative pop rock? How do you make that stretch for so long?
Yeah.
How do you do it? I literally don't know. And then the songs like USA and the final song, I forget what it's called, but it's 11 minutes. He just goes from part to part to part to part. Yeah. And just like brings the dynamics down, up. Like there's an acoustic part. There's all these different facets in the same song. Mm-hmm. USA is really cool because it has this like chanting section.
Yeah.
Where I forget what they're saying, but they're like
Atu USA, Atu USA.
Yeah. I fucking love that.
Yeah.
It's really cool. So that, and then probably 9-10. I like that song.
9 out of 10.
9 out of 10.
It's so good. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't like this album when I first heard it.
Yeah.
But that's only because, and I hear this from everyone that has heard things before this. Like before they know what Jeff's sound is and everything. It was really hard to get into it. And then I drove to San Diego with Grant, Angel, and Nick. We just drove to San Diego literally to watch a 30-minute set from Pangea and a 30-minute set from Jeff Rosenstock, and then drove home. And within the same 24 hours in LA, then I saw Jeff again, and he played 9 out of 10 live, and it fucking blew me away. And then I was like, okay, I got to give this album another chance. And I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
It's great.
I mean, I don't have anything to compare it to because I haven't listened to his other stuff.
Yeah.
You're probably holding it to a super high standard.
Well, like I said, it's not my favorite by him. Because this, like, just me in general, I like very, like, personal, emotional music. And so, like, he definitely got into a more political side with this. Because with We Cool, it's all about him being like, fuck, bomb the music industry's over. Like, I have no fucking clue what I'm going to do. Are people even going to listen to me anymore? Like, this and that. So he's going through this. So that's what that album's about. Then the second album, Worry, is about, like, him getting married to his wife. And he's like, fuck, I got to, like, support my family. But then he also starts singing about, like, political things. And then Post is just, like, fucking, he's just talking about after the election and everything. And he's just fucking
I didn't even know that.
Out. Yeah, it's the whole, well, the majority of it is him just being like, I'm fucking freaked out. I don't know what's going to happen to America. Like,
and Let Them Win is such a good song. That's the last one, right?
Yeah.
I was listening to that.
Yeah, I think so.
God, that one's fucking cool, man.
Yeah, God, he's just
okay,
good.
now it makes sense. Now that I'm, like, looking through the TV stars, Let Them Win.
Yeah.
USA.
I mean, I think 9 out of 10 is the only, like, fuck, Grant's gonna kill me when he hears this shit because he's gonna be like, no, you fucking idiot, you're wrong. But 9 out of 10 is, like, one of the most, like, kind of one of the few very, like, personal songs that he's singing about. Yeah. The rest is just, like I said, it's just political.
It's like, what do you call it? Like, observing the world rather than talking about yourself.
Yeah.
And I always thought that was his thing because the songs I have heard are, like, at first I was like, okay, it's just like whiny. It's like a fucking guy just whining to me about, I'm depressed and I fucking drink and shit and I don't have a girlfriend or whatever. And I was like, okay, that's it. But then I realized there's this sort of, you know, brilliant shit going on with the structures of the songs, the guitar work. But it's not like, it doesn't put you off.
Right, yeah.
It's easy to find, like, prog shit that's like, oh my God, this is fucking crazy. Like, what's that band? Giraffes or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh,
it's just insane. It's only instrumental.
It's like giraffes ? Giraffes exclamation point.
Like, that shit's awesome, but it's so unrefined and crazy balls to the walls prog. It's like, it's too much for most people.
Yeah.
But he boils it down in a way that you can just jump in and just sing along.
Well, I really like Jeff because, and me and Grant, of course, have talked about this a bunch, is that
I'm sure.
Yeah, of course. He has, like, two sides, which is just, like, one side is, it's, like, super just simple, easy melodies that you're just like, oh, okay, like, this is super catchy and I can get into this. And then, like, the other side is, like, it's just like, if you're looking at it from, like, a technical and, like, you just, like, understand it.
Yeah.
From, like, a musical aspect of, like, studying music or whatever.
You can appreciate it too.
You can be like, holy shit, like, he's doing this fucking beat
key
where,
changes,
like
all sorts of shit like that.
Yeah.
Which I don't fucking understand.
He actually is, he made me figure out what a baritone guitar is. I didn't know what the fuck it was until,
just like a guitar with super thick strings.
Yeah, right? He plays with it a lot, and I was like, what the that's fucking awesome.
Isn't it like in the middle of a bass and a guitar?
Yeah, it's like just super fucking deep tone guitar, so it's in between the keys of whatever the higher string is. Yeah, exactly. The higher strings of guitars and then the lower tones of a bass, and it's right there, so you get a really full sound with it.
Yeah, and I don't know, like, Grant was telling me about, and so is Alex. They're like, there's some, like, synth stuff. Oh, well, actually, the end of the end of the album has, it, like, pads its runtime a little bit because there's just, like, ambient noise going on.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool, but you no longer get the award of, like, hey, you made an 11-minute song. I retract that statement because it's not actually 11 minutes. But for me, in terms of buy it, try it, pass, it's an easy buy, you know?
Oh, yeah.
I knew it even from the middle of the album. I was like, I'm going to buy it. I don't actually buy all these fucking albums. I'm going to legally download it. Yeah. I'm totally going to buy this from the illegal store. If you guys think I fucking buy all the albums I say bye to, you're crazy.
Dead wrong.
Yeah. Do you know how much an album is? It's like $10 to $20.
I don't have $10 to $20.
Do you know how much I pay to host this fucking podcast? Because you have to pay to host a podcast.
Oh, that's
it's like $25 a month. And if I buy 5 albums per month, I fucking
now you're just
I'm like in
yourself.
negative returns. Yeah. I can't do that. But it's figurative. Buy meaning like I would buy this.
Yeah.
I might actually.
I have it.
So you
vinyl.
bought it.
I didn't buy it.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, it was gifted?
Yeah, I got it as a present for my birthday.
Oh, that's actually a higher honor because someone thought you would like it.
And
they were right.
I fucking love that person for it. It's so fucking sick. You open it up and I was like, cool, like I have the album now.
On vinyl?
And I took it out from the sleeve thinking like I'm going to get a fucking black vinyl. And it's like a fucking just slick baby blue, like vibrant blue
I love
album.
when there's different color vinyls. Vinyl things. Only guys with vinyl get it?
Yeah, I got an amoeba sticker on my car. Like that.
Yeah, I'm like a supporter. I'm in the fight, you know? Cool. Yeah, I was telling you before we started recording, I was like, how do I not know who this is? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm actually super surprised.
It's so fucking, I mean, I love the 90s. That's my favorite decade. It's like so parallel with that sound. I don't understand how I surpassed it, but it's just that thing. There's so many artists. There's so much fucking music, especially nowadays with the internet and Bandcamp, Spotify. All this shit. There's no way you could find all the cool bands. Yeah. There's always a cool band out there you don't know.
Definitely.
Does that boggle your mind sometimes?
It's just fucking crazy. Or like bands that I hear about but never give a chance because I'm just like, everyone's just talking about them.
Yeah.
Like, very, very recently, everyone's been talking to me about AJJ, Andrew Jackson Jihad.
Yeah, and, I've heard that shit for a couple years
He's
now.
very similar sound of, actually not very similar. He's just kind of like this folk punk guy. Lucifernus used to cover them. And I was always just like, fuck it. Like, I'll just listen to them. So I got like one of their most kind of recent albums, Christmas Island. And like I sat down and I was listening to it. And this song, Linda Ronstadt, started playing. And it's just like this emotional song. And I like started crying.
Really?
But then after crying, I was like, why am I an asshole? Why do I just not listen to these bands just because all these people tell me to listen to these bands? Like,
well, for me, it's just like managing my pleasure levels. It's like my fucking dopamine levels. I'm just like, am I gonna waste 45 minutes of my life doing this?
I'm so fucking strict with that shit. Like people will be like, check out this band, and like there could be a song on the album on like the 8th track that I would love, but if like I listen to the first track and I'm just like, this is shit, then I won't give it a chance.
I mean, the fact that we say that and we're in bands, does that just scare the shit out of you? Because okay, think about the fucking average guy, like, or girl that's just like not even a musician, they're just listening to you. No one has the fucking time to discover new artists. It's like, how do you convert people to be your fans?
That's why,
if no one gives a shit.
That's why I try and be optimistic about it. I'm like, maybe I'm just the asshole.
Yeah.
And everyone else is just like super open to all this music.
Well, I'm thinking like when I am being the asshole, I'm like, you know what? I'm that guy right now. Like I can make a difference. I can be a new fan of this band.
Yeah.
And this band is trying to convert people into being fans.
Right.
I think probably the biggest thing you can do to make new fans is having a live performance that is crazy.
Yeah.
Because people tend to respond more to, you know, a memory. Like you go out with your friends. There's a band you've never heard of, and they play, and like you turn to your friend, you're like, dude, these guys are fucking crazy. And then all of a sudden you're like, I want to buy everything they have. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's hard to do that with just on the internet.
Fuck, I never thought about it like that. Cause like one of the like, I want to say like pivotal moments of like changing and seeing that people started like giving a fuck.
Yeah.
About our band was like when you were in the band and we played in a backyard and it was fucking hot, so we're all like, we're just gonna play in our underwear, and then we're just playing like sweaty hardcore punk, and then afterwards Nikki. Do you remember Nikki from Bandits? His fucking face was bleeding. And then afterwards, like, I went up to you and you, like, busted a knuckle and there was, like, blood on your snare. And I was like, holy shit.
Where was that,
And then
though?
that was at Blues House.
Oh.
And then afterwards, we played, like, later on, we played at Pop Studios. And then, like, fucking people started singing our music. And I was like,
oh, my God.
Oh, we just gotta be fucking, like...
Yeah.
You just got to have a cool-ass memory of doing these things.
Yeah, well, because, you know, the people that really support you are going to come to your shows. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And, fuck, I don't know. It's still a mystery to me. If I had it figured out, I'd be...
Huge.
I'd be famous. No one fucking has it. I mean, it's also just a matter of time.
Yeah, of
you
course.
Know? People give up so easily, and I think our society, in a way, is like instant gratification.
That
you know what I mean?
100%. Everyone gets a fucking trophy and like.
Well, that shit too, but it's also like, oh, you want to try this thing that you may fail at.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first of all, 50% of people aren't even going to try it if they think there's a chance they're going to fail. So those 50 are out. The other 50% of those guys will only try for a week and then they'll call it quits.
Yeah.
And then you see it just breaks down to smaller and smaller categories. That's why not everyone's fucking big.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it takes an attitude and a sort of lifestyle to be like, I'm going to fail for 30 years and then I'm going to find success.
Yeah, like
or whatever.
I the other day, because now there's those new Instagram polls or questions where you post something and then people ask you questions. And one thing that I saw that I thought was fucking awesome was someone was asking the lead singer of the Orwells. He was just like, what does it take to be in a really good band, blah, blah, blah. And the lead singer was just like, just fucking be willing to put 10 years into it at least.
Yeah.
Before like you start fucking playing Coachella and like doing all this fucking
you think
crazy
it's
shit.
I mean, so, like we see guys that blow up so fast.
Oh yeah.
And wait, who was I with? Oh yeah, okay. Did you listen to the Maddie podcast episode? That was the last one.
I listened to the beginning half of it, and then I was listening to it while I was going to sleep because it relaxed me.
Aw.
So I fell asleep.
Little baby Graham falling asleep in his crib. But I was talking to him about how like fucking jealous we get. I'm not going to speak for you, but
yeah.
I get jealous of people who just explode.
Yeah.
But there's another element to that. It's like, I don't know how long they've been playing underground. I don't know, we see people just explode, but it's like sometimes they actually did put in the work.
That I often think about that, and it's the whole like, why the fuck did they just blow up out of nowhere? And it's not that they fucking blew up out of nowhere. It's that they're finally getting like recognition, and the reason you're hearing of them is because they've put in all this work and because now they're blowing up.
Yeah.
But you don't see the side of them fucking working day in and day out and playing all these gigs and playing shitty gigs. You just see the, hey, I'm fucking huge now.
Yeah.
Like,
and you're just like down here like, what the fuck? What, since when? Like, how did you get
it's because
big?
you're not fucking following them. You don't see that struggle.
But then also, there are people who just are like,
oh yeah,
I put out one song and like people really like it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like playing Coachella.
Yeah.
Like I was reading about the Tame Impala guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name, but
the
guy, it's the mastermind that, makes Tame Impala.
It's Mr. Impala.
Yeah, Mr. Impala. That's perfect. He was like a garage rock, indie artist making shit on his laptop. And he made a song, put it on the internet or put it on Bandcamp, I think. And overnight, like it was picked up by press and like Pitchfork and like huge media outlets.
Yeah.
And that was it. Like that, he got his start.
That's whether you like them or not. That's what happened with the Black Keys.
Oh, really?
I remember seeing a tiny little thing on it. And they sent this letter in. They just made an EP. No one had heard it yet at fucking all. And they sent it to like a semi-big record label. And they were like, hey, what's up with the Black Keys? We've been a touring band for like a couple of fucking years now. We've played all these different places. Like we were wondering if you'd sign us and like help us on a tour, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And fucking instantly the record label was like, yeah, you're signed. We'll help you out with the tour. And that was their first tour. It was them lying about that they're this really successful band.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Wow, they actually just snuck their ass in there.
Just fucking.
I wonder if it would have made a difference,
It
Like maybe their music was just so good. They're like, well, we're gonna sign you no matter what.
Yeah, they had something.
But
cool.
That shit just pisses me off, you know. But it's like, it's not my anger is not justified. You know what I mean? Like, it's not right for me to get fucking angry.
Yeah, you're not gonna sit in your room and be like,
no,
why can't I?
But it kind of like motivates me because immediately I think like, what do they have that I don't? And I'm like, well, I'm gonna prove myself.
Right.
And I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna make music. So that's the good part about that.
Yeah. Yeah, they just there was a point in time where I really had to get myself out of a Brian Wilson phase when we were recording Sleep.
Oh wow.
Because I'd been just fucking doing all this research on Brian Wilson and like fucking like just like Brian had like just fucking just all this crazy shit going and like he heard music in his head and blah 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 and this and that, and I was like, it's fucking crazy, and this man's just
he heard music in his head. I hate that fucking quote.
And but I had to get myself out of it because I was like, this man's fucking crazy. So like while we're recording Sleep, I had to have like Grant come up to me later and be like, dude, you can't be that strict anymore. Because like Angel would be like recording a guitar line and I'd like fucking stop it midway and be like, do it again. Just fucking keep doing it.
Really?
And Grant was just like, dude, it's not.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Thank God I'm out of that.
That's funny because now that you say it, I remember you. I'm not going to insult you. I'm saying like it sounds like I'm about to say, I remember you being a bossing me around. No, I was going to say, I remember you talking about him a lot, but I didn't think about it in a way like he's in a phase.
Dude, you're lucky you got out when you did.
But it seems like I witnessed the beginning of the
you did.
Because you would say shit like, yeah, you know, he used to do this and this. And I thought it was fascinating because it really is fascinating.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy.
But I don't know if I've talked to you about this before, but it's weird when we discover someone of that fucking caliber.
Yeah.
He's a mastermind. He's a genius.
No,
And then you try and like put yourself in his shoes and you're like, well, if he could do that, you know, maybe I should assume that same role and it'll make something as good. You know what I mean?
Did you ever see the movie Frank?
Yeah, I love that movie.
The guy that wears the mask and he's like just a fucking brilliant songwriter.
Yeah.
One of the things that like got me out of that was like, there's a scene where like this guy, he's writing a song. Or it's just like these two guys alone, and he's like, yeah, you want to hear this song that I wrote? And it's this fucking beautiful piano song. Yeah. And then afterwards, he's just like, see, it's just shit. He's like, you'll never be as good as Frank, no matter how hard you try. And then I was like, fuck. I was like, okay, well, if I can't be fucking Brian Wilson, I'm just gonna be Graham.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like try and fucking.
Well, it's weird because when you stop trying to emulate someone else or something else,
that's when you start making fucking good shit.
Well, that's when you start making.
Don't yell at me.
Yeah. Did I raise my voice? I don't know. I mean, that's when you start making stuff. Like, I've when I get like writer's block for real, and I'm just like, everything you fucking make. Like, every note you hit is shit. I don't even know how that's possible.
I was just at that, like, yesterday.
I was fucking too, dude. I mean...
Yeah.
What do you do when you're in that situation? Do you try and break out of it?
No, I can't. I'm way better. Like, there are times where, like, I'll try and push through it, and just nothing comes out. So now I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, just something's wrong. Today's not the day. I just need to sit back. And then usually, like, I'll just, like, hang out with my friends and just have a cool experience. And then that's, like, enough for me to be like, oh, cool. Like, this chord progression that I played a couple days ago that sounded like shit, suddenly I'm like, this sounds fucking awesome.
And not only that, but, like, oh, I could add this and I could add this.
Yeah, exactly.
And I just have this whole idea that just was birthed from this quote-unquote shitty idea.
Yeah, so you just gotta fucking just sit back and just take it easy.
I really think it's also mindset. And, like, your frame of mind at the current moment.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's so many times where I feel so inspired out of nowhere. Like, maybe I'm just happy, I'm in a good mood, and I'm just like, like there's a part of me that's like, I am fucking God. And I just sit down with a guitar and I'm like, everything I play is masterful. It's really bizarre. It's like a cathartic sort of experience.
Sure.
And then in a couple days, you know, your ego's deflated a little bit. You're like, okay, well, that was okay.
Yeah.
And then you can be in the opposite spectrum and be like, everything I make is shit.
Right. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
And it'll be true if you want it to be true.
Yeah. I feel, at least for me, I write what I considered some of my best stuff is when I'm not trying to write music at all.
Yeah.
It's like, because when I sit down and I'm like, haven't written a fucking song in a couple weeks, like I should write something, there's just fucking nothing there.
Yeah.
But then when I'm just like hanging out with my friends and I just decide to pick up a guitar and just start playing whatever, that's when I'm playing stuff that I'm like, okay, this is cool. And then I record it and then I go back later and I start fucking with that.
Yeah. And that becomes the foundation in which you build. So that's actually a perfect segue. What is it like for Sad Park? I mean, I could guess because I was there, but what is it like for songwriting? Because it's a different lineup. I don't know. Are Baron and Angel? Why are you laughing?
Nothing. I love those guys.
Well, because Baron, I always thought was like, he's such a good bass player and he would just write the best fucking parts. But never have I seen him come in with a fully written song.
And I just leave it that way. Baron, why fucking try and fix something that's already really good?
Yeah.
Know? Like, so I come in with like super, at least what I think is like just very basic, like pop music, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I have like these very simple chords and whatever I want to sing about. Grant has this actual like education of like knowing like, okay, well, we shouldn't do this or blah blah blah, and he starts adding like a real technical aspect to things, not too much that it's like, what the fuck are these guys even playing?
Yeah.
But Grant adds like a little bit of a technical aspect to things, and then I just don't touch Baron. Whatever Baron has ever come up with, I have never looked at it and been like,
no,
maybe you should play this.
Yeah.
Like, there's only fucking one song out of all the music we have that I ever gave Baron the bass line to. And
what song was that?
I don't like that song that much.
But what song?
It's in my head. The da na 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 da na na na.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And I just don't like that song that much. Baron just thinks of fucking killer shit, dude.
Yeah.
Do you remember fucking trying him out and we were like, oh shit, like how's this gonna go? And then he's just playing like,
well, because he was so fucking like quiet and it was like the type of person that makes you nervous.
He's a fucking secret weapon, dude.
He really is.
Seriously.
Well, and because we were tight in terms of like, because we had been in another band.
Yeah, of course. So we already had like chemistry.
So we had chemistry. We were like comfortable, like socially, everything was fucking perfect. And then, of course, you have a random dude come in and shit gets like, oh, like we're on eggshells a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, what can we say? I don't want to make him feel weird.
Yeah.
But he was really good.
Fucking insane.
And I don't even know if I was like totally sold on him. And I don't think you were either. Like we were just like, yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
Let's have him come back.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a total gung ho. Like he was awesome.
Uh-huh.
But now I realize how fucking lucky that was.
Right?
You know?
And that was through
his brother?
No,
what was
that was through Instagram.
Oh.
Fucking people that are always just like, oh, I can't find a musician, or like I can't find someone to start a band. Just fucking use any tiny resource that you have.
Shit, yeah. I'm thinking right now, like I'm trying to start another project to play live shows with.
Yeah.
And I've talked about this before, but it's like if you're afraid to do something, you always find an excuse.
Uh-huh.
My current excuse is like, oh, I don't have like a drummer.
Dog, you got Instagram.
Yeah, right?
Like,
what the fuck am I thinking?
I literally posted on Instagram, I was like, hey, we're looking for a bass player. The fucking one and only person that hit us up was Baron. And he had just followed me.
He was the only guy?
He had just followed me like a couple days before.
We didn't have a lot of leeway in terms of being like, we don't want you. Because he's the only dude that fucking...
because no one fucking even... We weren't like a band that people were like, Sad Park's looking for a bass player. Like,
it wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Fuck. Yeah. And then so that's Grant. That's Baron. I fucking love Angel.
I
So
know
much.
you guys love each other.
I
You kiss?
I could have gotten married to him the other day. There was an ordained priest at my house that could have married us.
On the spot?
On the fucking spot.
I don't think priests do that.
No, it's... Shut up.
Okay.
No, I fucking love Angel, because you know, when we were first starting out, it's fucking hard, dude. You're not... That was his first band.
He learned guitar. Didn't he, like...
He learned guitar like a couple months before. And, like, it's fucking hard when your fucking first band who already... Your third show is playing up the smell to just be like, write a fucking lead part.
Well,
but he's really like coming into his own, and he just like understands the sound that we like going for, and now he understands like the chemistry and how we like to do things. So he now is finally bringing... Sorry, I love you, Angel. But he's now like bringing just this whole thing that is fully crafting like the sound of what everything is.
Yeah. I mean, it takes time to settle in.
Yeah.
Right? But could you imagine learning guitar and then, like, okay, like I can do bar chords.
Yeah.
Like, and then joining a band.
Yeah.
Because it's such a different fucking experience.
Yeah.
From playing alone to playing with other musicians.
Yeah.
And, I mean, like, when I learned guitar, I didn't even, like, play 2 songs, you know?
Uh-huh.
I just kind of learned the chords and that was it, and played alone.
Yeah.
I had the advantage of playing drums before, so like I had a sense of rhythm, but that's hard for a lot of guitarists to do when they first start.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's like, okay, now you have to conform to all these other players.
Yeah.
And a drummer.
Yeah.
So how far along are you guys on what you're writing right now?
We're not super far. We're just kind of taking our time on everything. We're actually, which I really appreciate, is we're getting kind of very strict about everything to put out.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like when you're a newer band, you're just like, fucking whatever, we're trying to find our sound. We can just write this song and record this song and then release it, and that's whatever we come out with. But now we're just kind of like, we have like a couple of different kind of pieces of different songs that will be like, okay, maybe we should work on this, or we're like, that's kind of whatever, let's just fucking not even
you
do
have to
anything
pick
with that.
You know, where are we going to spend our time?
Yeah, exactly. So we're only like like 3 songs in, and that's just 3 full songs. Yeah, everything else is just like
bits and pieces.
Hey, what are we gonna do with this chord progression we wrote fucking a couple months ago? Like,
well, now you have to kind of, I mean, you can worry about this or you don't have to, but a lot of bands tend to worry about their discography and where it looks like they're going, like in terms of trend.
Yeah.
If you look at your previous work, how does that stack up to what you're wanting to release?
Yeah.
You know, it's a different ball game.
It was actually like really fucking scary, because we just released the 2 EPs, just like, fuck it, whatever. These are songs that we just like playing, and we'll record them and they sound good, you know?
Yeah.
But then when we were recording Sleep, I was like, okay, we have like people that know these songs and know this sound and like this sound.
Yeah.
So then I was like, just fucking, now we can't fuck it up.
How do we deliver?
Yeah, exactly. So there was actually like a good amount, which kind of helped out the sound of recording and what it sounds like on record, of just like being just fucking worried about like, what are people gonna think of, like, should we just start sounding more like what we used to sound like? Are people gonna be cool if we try and like evolve and try and get out of our own space and try and like sound different?
Yeah.
So it's super like, it's kind of stressful to just be like, what are people gonna think of this? But then, you know, like, you at the end of the day, like, it's your fucking music.
Right? That's exactly what I'm thinking.
You can't hold yourself to whatever people are gonna think. So you just kind of gotta just be like, fuck it. This is what I like. This is the sound that I make. This is coming from me.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna fucking do this.
Also, for the Death Grips thing, like, it made me think, I don't know, sometimes I hear something that is so fucking crazy. I just think, man, like, if you could just do that, why can't I just... It just takes the pressure off. Right. Me. Because when I'm writing a song, and I'm sure you're probably similar, there's a pressure, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And it's like, that pressure is, can I write not just a song? I know I can write a song.
Right.
But can I write a good song?
Yeah.
And when you hear something as crazy and fucking, batshit as that,
yeah,
you just think, well, does it even matter? You know what I mean? Like, should I just write something and just let it be whatever it is?
Yeah, the stress also for me not only comes from like, okay, what do people think? But then it's also like, okay, the first album was a super just like dry, just punk, whatever. Then the second one, we kind of started getting a little bit of a more advanced sound from that.
Yeah.
And then Sleep came out, and that's like hitting and even like past whatever we were before that sound.
Yeah.
So now whatever this new thing is, like everything I fucking write, I'm just like, well, fuck, we have like this song that sounds really good. Like what I just got to start coming out with fucking heavy hitters like all the time.
Well, you can do a Radiohead and just like have like some sort of synthy weird fucking, you know what I mean?
I've been wanting to do shit like that. Straight up. Like I think that stuff's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I love like the super Grant fucking hates Radiohead. I fucking love OK.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Is it like a genuine hate, or is it more like, they're overrated?
No, yeah, they're overrated. His whole thing isn't that he dislikes Radiohead. His whole thing is that Radiohead has to him what is just such like a basic knowledge of music that when people see these things that are slightly more advanced than whatever the pop hits coming out are, they're like, these guys are fucking geniuses.
Yeah.
And it hit me when I showed Grant this song, and I was like, isn't this fucking crazy? Look what the drummer's doing, blah, blah, blah. And Grant was just like naming the techniques of everything that he's doing, and I was like, oh, okay. So that he just views it as like the fan base just fucking worships them.
Yeah.
On that note, fuck him. OK Computer's fucking immaculate.
Yeah. See, how can you say? I
fucking love that album.
Disregard everything he fucking says. That album is still 10 out of 10.
I love it. That album's fucking like I said. It's
that's
immaculate.
considered. That's considered a fucking alternative masterpiece.
Yeah. No, there have been car rides with me and Grant where it's just yelling.
Really?
Yeah, no, straight up. I'll be playing like Paranoid Android, and he's just like, this fucking slowed down acoustic. It's like 2 minutes. That's too fucking long. And I'm just like, man, it's fucking sick. Like,
well, okay, so that's interesting because I wonder what Grant thinks of the new Death Grips album. He probably hates it. He probably doesn't even give a shit.
He probably just has no like. It's just Death Grips 4.
No, he'll probably just say, it's just noise.
Yeah.
Because
maybe
it's so evident when you like put someone like you versus, or even just someone like me and my approach to music against, I love talking to Grant. Our podcast episode went for like way longer.
Oh, I loved it. It was great.
And the reason for that is because he has such a different fucking view.
Yeah.
It's more grounded.
Yeah.
He knows exactly where the boundaries of music are and knows exactly how to push them. Mm-hmm. But that has a different view than I do because it's like, I don't know the formula. Like, I know the formula, sure. Like, I know how to write a pop song. Mm-hmm. I don't know the advanced theory stuff. Mm-hmm. And I don't care. I don't know. I haven't figured out if that either is good for songwriting or if it's bad. Because I think, is Jeff Rosenstock like a big theory weirdo?
I don't think theory, but from what I've asked Grant, he definitely got like an education on music.
Yeah.
So he definitely like, he's not like just doing crazy shit that people with knowledge of music can be like, oh shit, he doesn't even realize he's doing this crazy thing. Like, he definitely knows like, okay, I'm fucking adding this and I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know what that does to the songs. I just think I've never been about like shortening something down for just music's sake. Mm-hmm. Like, intros are the average intro is 30 seconds. Ours is 2 minutes. We should just cut it down. Mm-hmm. I mean, you and I can feel when something goes on too long.
Yeah.
But that's all it is. It's a feeling.
Yeah.
So I wonder how it is to be in his head where it's like, I know exactly where that needs to be cut. And I know exactly why that sounds bad. You know what I mean?
I sometimes like really, really appreciate music theory, but then other times, and I've been told by people that like study music theory, it's just like, don't fucking study it.
Really?
Because yeah,
It's the first time I've heard that.
when we were first starting, before Grant was even in the band, Grant was just like, don't do it, just don't. And I was like, why? And he's just like, you got a good thing going, and like theory can put you in a box. So there's things that if you don't know where the line is drawn,
you'll cross it, and that's fine.
You'll cross it, and you might come out with something fucking awesome.
Yeah.
But if you study theory, and this isn't for everyone, some people know how to do it in a fucking really good way. But other people that study theory are just like, here's the line, I can't cross it because that's what the rule book says.
It's robotic, yeah.
That's what it's.
I mean, that fear, that exact fear, basically paralyzed me for all of my fucking musical life, you know. And it's only now that I've graduated high school and
right.
I've been like, okay, I want music to be a career where I'm learning theory kind of out of necessity. Slowly but surely. It's like a lot of shit you got to learn. Yeah. But in the end, my conclusion was like exactly what you said. Basically, it was like, well, I don't want to put myself in a box. But considering I've approached it from a self-taught way and I know what my goals are, then I think I can use theory to further my goals.
Yeah, of course.
Whereas if you're a musician and you learn theory and that's all you know, like you learn how to play clarinet from a book.
Yeah.
You're going to play like you learned it from a book.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So if I totally get that. If you're like someone who started off fucking doing everything your way.
Yeah.
Everything goes the way that you fucking want it to in your head.
Yeah.
And then you study theory, you're like, well, I still have my set characteristics of who I am as a songwriter. All my ideas, from this way,
where I want to take it.
But now I also have technique.
Yeah.
But then if you're someone that, you know, like fucking, I don't know, whatever, when you were a kid, your
classically
parents were like,
trained.
Yeah, your parents were just like, okay, we're going to get you lessons.
Yeah.
Then your whole life, you're going to be studying it and being from like, this is the way this goes, and it has to go this way because this fucking says it that way.
That comes down to the teachers, man. There have to be good teachers that tell you that music is whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that, and my hope is once I've learned theory, I can use the knowledge of the rules. It's like I know where the rules are. I know what they are. Now I can choose which ones I want to break.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like I know how long this section's supposed to be, but I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah, I'm just,
you know.
Fucking...
And then other times, I think when it helps is like, oh, this sounds bad and I need to fix it. Okay, I know that this trick tends to work. So it's kind of that. You got to play the system.
Yeah, like, I mean, fucking with that goes into that. With USA off Post, it's that song that has
the
that chant, but it also has a 3-minute synth interlude, which is just a dreamy synth sound going on for just 3 fucking minutes over and over. And I mean, the man could have looked at it and just been like, let's just make it like a tiny little thing. Let's just make that go on for a minute and then we'll come back out of it. But he's just like, fuck it. Let's have 3 fucking minutes of it. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, that's a producer that's trying to make a pop hit. See, it's all about your goals. If you're trying to make a mainstream pop hit, then you keep it at 3.5 minutes or whatever the fucking average is, and then you follow the formula. And you'll make a hit song. Yeah. If you're trying to make something new that's going to change the world,
right,
in the way that, you know, people perceive music, you got to break the rules. You have to push the boundaries.
Yeah.
So I think I always respect when someone can do that. That's what I was talking about. Death Grips. There's always a level of respect. And hey, you did something that's really ballsy. It doesn't mean it's good all the time, but it is cool.
I think it's also the fact that they do things by their own rules. They're doing something kind of ballsy.
Yeah.
And from that, they're also getting recognized for it.
That's the other thing.
They're not even like crazy. A low-key, like, underground band doing their own thing, and you're like, wow, it's fucking crazy. No one will ever know about them. They're like fucking huge. They have mainstream
respect.
Yeah, they're huge.
That's an insanely hard thing to do.
Yeah.
In a band like that.
Yeah, definitely.
We're coming up on the end, so...
Coming up on the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I knew you
were going to do that. I was like, are you going to repeat everything I say?
Am I just going to... Yeah.
That's what I thought. So I got 2 more questions. First one, what is your desert island band?
Oh.
This is one band. Have you thought about this? I don't know. It's cool when I could catch people off guard.
And I just get their entire discography.
You get everything.
Oh, shit, Dick. That's fucking hard, man.
It is a tough one. I'm curious to see what you'll choose.
Yeah.
I have a couple guesses. But...
Yeah, no, you probably... It wouldn't be anything like a surprise. I guess I would choose the band with the most material. So then I get to... Unless, like, when the new album comes out, does a plane drive over and just drop...
Yes.
Oh, shit, and I'm just like, the new album's out!
Okay.
It'd probably be, like, Pixies.
Oh, okay.
I want to say Pangea, but, like, it...
I'm so glad you said Pixies.
I can't fucking... I love them.
Can you listen to them forever?
No, yeah, exactly. I love them. They're, like, fucking my favorite band, but, like... I'm actually getting into the reality of me alone, and like, I don't think I could take it forever. Like,
I'm haunted.
But that's like the only thing I hear. Like, at least like I can listen to the Pixies, or I can listen to Pangea and be like, okay, I'm gonna go listen to something else now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'd be the Pixies. They have
Pixies
so
have such a good
much.
sound.
Yeah, they have a great sound.
It's really all
so
encompassing. They, kind of, they have their own style, but it's like it's not like formulaic all the time,
Yeah, they're great.
It's kind of just go in different directions.
Yeah.
I was either like, part of me thought you would say No Effects, but then I thought
that went through my head only because of like the amount of things that they have. But then I was like, I don't need to hear that
all the
every
time.
fucking
I would just be a
day.
very angry, depressed person if I listened to No Effects.
I'd kill myself, dude.
Yeah,
I mean, to listen to like
it's just the word like. It's like, okay, I thoroughly know how bad the world is by listening to No Effects.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything sucks, according to them. That's a great answer. Okay, last question. Would you like to embark on the gauntlet?
Yeah.
Yes. He said
yes.
He said yes. I knew you would say yes. Not because I asked you before we went on.
Then no.
Because, what? You flipped me, dude.
Well, okay, you said you knew it.
So the gauntlet, for those who don't know, is a challenge that I offer to all my guests. So Graham, you're gonna get 45 minutes to write and record an original song in this room.
Oh, it's gonna be hard.
So we've got. Oh yeah, it's very hard. And so don't be too hard on him. I can't do that.
Be really hard on me. You know how hard it's gonna be to fucking top Daddy's Lap.
It's pretty tough to top that, yeah. That's the problem with the gauntlet is like people make their own challenge songs and then they're directly compared. Like, who's a better songwriter?
He was so proud of that.
He really was. And I was in the studio with him that night and he was fucking singing it.
No, he the minute that he came, because he came to my house right after doing your podcast and we were hanging out.
Okay.
And he was just like, Jackson just sent me the fucking recording of my gauntlet challenge. You want to hear it? And we just listened to it on repeat. I was like, what the fuck? This is sick.
Yeah. So don't be ashamed if you make something that is retarded because I would make something retarded too.
I'm going to be so ashamed.
Great. So that's the podcast. I think today is what's the date?
I'll give it
the
to
14th.
You right. It's the 14th.
Saturday the 14th. So this will come up on Tuesday the 17th.
How sensitive are these mics? I should have asked this at the beginning.
Depends on what you're planning to do.
Also, like if I get really close like this, are they gonna hear this?
I'm gonna turn that part up.
Let's go.
Hey guys, I just want to let you know that we both love you.
Welcome back to my ASMR session.
What?
ASMR. Oh. Okay.
Okay, say bye, Graham.
Bye, Graham.